But, there it is. We have 3 more stories in one. So it's like a trilogy. I have a few stories to share. They're a bit of a mix about how women and the world can put you over a barrel without lube.
Yeah, and all they have to do is just call the cops.
Yeah.
They don't even need evidence.
No, not anymore.
Nope.
Believe women. Can you define woman? Well, then I shouldn't believe them now, should I? Some stories are mine. Some are of men that I knew. I did 6 years active on submarines and a few years reserve/contractor in Afghanistan and managed to see a fair amount.
Submariner. All those guys have the best stories.
I'll do my best to sanitize the personal info. Story number one.
All right.
When I was going through Navy nuke school in New York, I had an instructor, let's call him D, with whom I got along really well. Later on, when I got to my first boat, he showed up about 2 years later to be part of the crew. He fit in, most everyone liked him, and I thought that he was going to make a great new friend. We'd been in port for repairs about 2 months, and the upcoming deployment would be his first. He was all jazzed up about going out on his first deployment. Getting a submarine ready to get underway is a busy job, and he was there to help. One of the last things to do before pushing off the pier is to offload as much garbage as possible so we don't have to dispose of it through the chute while underway. He was tasked with hauling probably 10 bags of trash pierside. Mind you, muster had already been taken in, so we were ready to rock and roll. All the married guys get to stay pierside for as long as possible while all the single guys work on the boat.
Yep.
So before the married guys came on board, he was hauling off trash. It wasn't until about 10 hours later, after we were underway, when we were getting ready to dive, that someone asked, "Hey, where's D?"
I didn't make it back.
Well, after another muster was taken, D was nowhere to be found on the boat.
That's
We all
big
thought
trouble.
he
That
was-
is big trouble.
That is.
You miss movement, you're fucked.
This does have a Shyamalan ending, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Not as good as the one on the Ride and Roast. That one was fucked up beyond repair. Oh, wow. We all thought that he must have gotten hurt, goofed somehow, and missed movement. We sort of knew that his dad was in the Navy a long time ago and that he was separated from his mom as a baby. He had mentioned this info before in a joking sort of way, but none of us thought much of it. Well, this is the Shyamalan ending, and we're going to have to drink for this one.
All right.
He was found about a week after we had gotten underway, hanging in a hotel room.
Oh, God.
As the rumor mill worked itself out, his mom had abandoned him when he was a baby. He had apparently found her after all those years, volunteered to be stationed near her, and went to see her. It seemed to have been a bad idea.
Yep.
The RP point here is that it's not just the women you are wanting to bang who will do bad things to you.
All of them will.
Yeah. Too bad.
All
I
of
really liked him.
That's sad. Wow.
Yeah, but men are the ones who have all the reproductive rights, right?
Yeah.
A father can, abandon his kid. Totally. Yeah. And then have the kid come back, "Hey, will you love me?" No.
That's terrible.
Mothers do this to the kids that they abandon all the time.
Yep.
Kids think it's going to be some tearful reunion, like they're going to have, like a long-lost twin brother, and they're each going to have half of a medallion, put them together, and get special powers. Most of the time, it ends like this.
Yes, it does.
And if you're not prepared for that reality, unfortunately, you
It causes an emotional overload.
extreme chiropractic, self-inflicted. So here's for that poor gentleman, because nobody deserves that. Damn. Godspeed to him. Story number 2.
Okay.
The boat I was stationed on was part of a big brain way the Navy had to do double and sometimes triple deployment schedules with a few attack submarines. Because of that, it was not unusual for us to be out 10 months of the year, sometimes only returning to port for a week or two.
Damn.
One of the coners, guys who work in the forward half of the boat, let's call him K, had a wife. As a typical for submarine guys, he'd been out for about 3 months with no contact with the outside world, aside from daily mission-specific comms. No emails, familygrams, nothing.
Because they're running silent, run deep.
Running silent, running deep, which is what you should do when you use a fake name. Just saying. This was right about the time Steve Irwin died. Crikey! Should I read the rest of it like that? Be a bit fucked up now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because part of submarine procedure is to listen to BBC radio. That's just too easy. It's the news station, Toxic Mail. I know. Did you mean big black cock? I wouldn't be surprised if some people on that boat were listening to Big Black Cock Radio. I'm just saying.
Yep.
So what year is it? Okay, so Kay had a secret his wife did not know. But let's hang back on that. Oh, hang on. Let's hang back on that.
Okay.
We get back into port, and she has a little baby bump.
Oh, no.
There's another Shyamalan ending here coming up.
Oh, no.
This one's good, though. Little baby bump. It is difficult to raise the alarm here since we come and go so often, but there it is. Kay had a vasectomy.
Oh.
Before he married her. And never told her.
Oh.
So, while we were in port for about 3 weeks or so, he is just fucking the shit out of her. Going to town, rivers of bazooka juice. She's all jazzed up. He's letting off deployment steam, and we're about to get underway again. It wasn't until he came down below decks to tell us about the vasectomy and that he had just told her about it on the pier.
Nice.
The divorce worked out well for him, apparently.
And listen, I'm not going to tell you that doesn't happen all the time, because it does.
Oh, yeah. You know, these women, most of the time, they look at, a guy out at sea, deployment, what have you, like, well, I'm basically a glorified single woman. I just have a husband who's never here, who sends his checks back.
Yep.
So I can pretend I'm single the entire time he's gone, and then when he's finally finished and, he gets discharged, I have a gift-wrapped excuse to break away and take half his shit, because he's not the man I fell in love with.
Yeah. Now listen, women love the pomp and circumstance of the military.
Oh, yeah.
Until the dude has to deploy.
I love the military wives who try to insist that you refer to them by their husband's rank. Why? Because you're sitting at home getting hollowed out like a tree stump?
Yeah, I would never do that, actually.
Fuck that.
I never did it.
I've seen these posts from these military wives. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yep. There's 3 different occasions in my career where I'm just like, I don't work for you.
It's like,
why are you talking to me?
Yeah. What is your job? Counting ceiling tiles while your husband is away? Give me a break.
Yeah, I don't work for you.
Shit.
Sorry.
Women.
Mm-hmm.
I love that meme with the 2 animated dudes. Women. Drinking coffee. Story number 3. This next one is a superstition. Ooh. That I have come to believe about forward deployed soldiers and sailors, etc. I'm sure you've got some superstitions.
Oh, fuck yeah, I do.
Or just men's life in general. At this point in time, in and around the military, I was a contractor in Afghanistan on Bagram Air Base Bagram Air Base for about a year. We had just gotten a new contractor in, and I was taking him around to get his badges and whatnot. He had prior service. He had his TS, gotten out, and got a job as a contractor, but had never deployed. This was his first time out in danger. It was a popular thing to do at the time, and for a lot of guys, it put strains on their relationships, which they did not expect. This individual, we'll call him F. Excuse me. That Guinness is really bubbling up tonight.
Yep.
He had just gotten Dear John a few days before in Kuwait on his way out to Afghanistan. I was trying to cheer him up, playing up the idea that he's here on an adventure, and I'll work with him into some of the most satisfying work he's ever seen. We were outside an administration building on Disney Boulevard when he told me about his Dear John letter. I remember it vividly. The badge office guy had gone out for lunch, and we were hanging out under a shady tree, looking out at the smoke pit in one of those concrete tunnel bunkers. This is the superstition part. I told him that we should head over to the smoke pit, probably about 50 feet away, and hang out with those guys to get his mind off his girl. He told me, go ahead. He'll catch up. He needs to think about whether or not he should stay on this contract or go back home to his girlfriend.
Oh, God.
I had a feeling in my balls.
Ooh.
And nearly had to drag him from the shady tree into the hot summer Afghanistan sun. We got to the smoke pit, said our hellos to the other dudes there, and started the normal bullshitting routine. Not 30 seconds after we made it to the smoke pit, a mortar landed exactly where we were standing.
Yep.
And a mortar rocket attack started, which lasted for the better part of an hour.
Yeah.
Woo!
I remember on Victory, I was there visiting my dudes, and I was there for about 2 hours, and it was sometime after 9:30. It was dark. And
Just get dark in here?
I'm walking to my Humvee, and there's this one soldier. Actually, there's two of them. They had towels on, coming out of the shower hut to their trailer where they lived, and it literally blew up. And the dude's like, it's like, boom! The dude's like holding a towel. It's like, God damn, all my shit's in.
Well,
Hey, they got it all replaced for the most part, I guess.
you're going to do what you got to do, I guess.
But literally, I mean, everything gone. And boom! Boom! And they're standing there like all his clothes, all of his everything is just like turned to shreds. And I was like, it could be worse. You could have been in there. And he's like holding his towel, looks at me, goes, yeah, First Art, I think you're right. I'm sure those two guys have like they're telling stories right now because I mean that is like once in a lifetime kind of thing, man.
That's hilarious, though. Love it. What do we got here? So I think back to that one often and noticed several other instances where men who were distracted from the mission because of a woman, both inside and outside the wire, would become bullet/bomb/rocket/pain magnets.
Yep.
I noticed it in the civilian world, too. It might be some kind of messaging system from the universe, or at the very least, a distracted mind not staying on focus to keep an eye out for dangers. F ended up deciding to go back stateside, which was probably for the best. Maybe he understood better the message the universe was sending him. I would invite Pop to share some examples of this superstition he saw in his time.
Yep.
And he says that's enough for now. Got any good superstitions, Pop?
Oh my God! Like I would never, ever take the parachute or the reserve chute that was handed to me. I'd be like, nope, that's bad juju. I would literally go back and pick my own. Like, what's wrong with this one? I'm like, hey, it's nothing personal. But you know, if this fail and I'm on my way burning in, I don't have anyone to blame but myself because I picked the goddamn parachute.
This is bad, right? This is bad.
Yeah, there was that one. Man, there's quite a few.
Was that before or after you, like, smashed into the ground and your head hit the ground in between your feet down in Panama?
I know. I've always been that way. From the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
Yeah, I've always been.
I didn't know if that was like, you know, somebody handed you the reserve chute, you know, and that happened, and you're like, I'm never fucking doing that again.
No. I was just like, listen, if I die in a jump, it's going to be because I fucked up, not because
somebody else fucked up, yeah.
But yeah, that jump was terrible. Like literally, my feet hit and my head went right between my feet. I got knocked out of my body.
You wake up and you're like, I didn't even know I could bend that way.
I didn't even like knock out. I don't think I was knocked unconscious. Literally, I hit the ground.
Just dazed.
I hit the ground and I was literally standing next to my body going, what just happened? And then I like, a couple seconds later, I'm like, oh, and I had that one eye doing this, you know? Yeah, because that was a pretty severe concussion, I would say.
Oh, I bet. Shit.
Yeah.
It's your head and the ground, they don't really get along.
And
in case you didn't know.
The thing that saved me is I was jumping a squad automatic weapon and I didn't lower it. And it hit the ground so hard that 3 inches of the blacktop were smashed up the barrel, and the whole saw was bent like a bow.
Damn!
It would have broke my legs if I had lowered it, and I took that impact just with my leg.
Damn!
Yeah. Whew.
Whew. I learn a little bit more about that story every time you tell it.
Serious business.
It's very serious business.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.